everyone, welcome back to Papercraft Possibilities, or welcome if it's your first time. This is Susan, and today we're going to be doing a one-page layout, and I'm going to be documenting the time that my daughter and I went over to Alcatraz Island in San Francisco. And this page goes through some ups and downs and some learning lessons, which I'm going to throw in here in the video. And because of that, I'm going to come in and do voiceover, so I can explain some things in detail, because I just kind of threw on the camera when I was going through some things. And then I'm going to come back in on the end and announce the winner of this last month's prize. So stick around for that. And that scrapbook, the stamp and the thin cuts will be on their way to that particular person. Anyways, let's get started. I'll roll the intro and here we go. Okay, here we are working with the 49 and Market paper. That is from the Wherever or Whenever, I think it's Wherever collection. I'll double check that. If it's anything different, I will put it up on the screen. But I think it's just stunning. And in regards to working with some solid papers, the solid papers that work really well with this are the Sapphire, which is this one from Close to My Heart. And the other one is Toffee, which I will bring in a little bit later, so you'll get a chance to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry fit this all in place and put these pictures down. And this is Alcatraz Island. If you've never been there, it's definitely a touristy thing, but worth doing once. And take the tour that the guided, you can put on your headphones and walk through with that tour. It's really very interesting. So I'm going to put my daughter down there. This is the two of us. This is back in 2002. And they allow you to go in some of the jail cells. So this is yours truly, just hanging out in one of the jail cells. Kind of funny. We have a good time when we're together. Of course, I have a good time all the time. So then I went in and I tore out my paper, and I believe I'm going to show it to you on the screen here, but you tear it closest to you and you just kind of guide it with your fingers, and that way you can control the rip. And when you're tearing this, just, do it in small amounts, and you can definitely control how much. And then because Close to My Heart's papers are a white core, I then came in and I inked it with the Toffee ink of Close to My Heart, So here is the ink here. And I'm going to put this up here for a title. Then my poor title went through several options because I just wasn't liking how it was looking. So I went into my Cricut and made the title there. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I made a outline of this, or a shadow or offset. Let's see if I can get this right. Here we go. This is Susan jumping back in here. I just wanted to share this with you because this is a mistake that I think we could all make, and I learned from. I had gone into my Cricut and cut out this title 3 times, as you can see there. And I put all my letters there in my little plastic bin where I keep my little tiny pieces. And I taped down the cutout to what I was using as like my title banner. And I was coming in, and the reason why I did that is I wanted to make sure that all the letters were evenly spaced and they were all lined up. So first I taped down with some washi the blue strip. And then I came in and taped down with washi the cutout from the titles. And the reason why I cut 3 is because I like to stack them 3 deep. As you can see here, when I went to go pull off that negative cutout area, I believe I put too much glue in there. And then the other thing I made the mistake with, I believe, is there were some leftovers from the die cutting from my Cricut that allowed the ink to get up underneath the glue to get up underneath some of those pieces. So you'll see here that I come back in with my craft knife and I try and fix it, and it just didn't work. And then when I tried to like take my craft knife, it was going back down to the white core of that paper of the cardstock. And so it got to be incredibly frustrating. So I went back to what we have here. Here I had just taken the toffee paper. I went into the Cricut. I used a different text, and I cut out the background area that I'm with right now on the screen, and that was toffee, and I cut that out 3 times. And I just built up that title with the 3 backgrounds, and I didn't worry about the white letters, or they're actually on French vanilla cardstock. And so I stacked up the toffee papers, excuse me, and that worked out really well. I think it's fine. You'll notice here, I believe it's coming up here in the video, I brought back in my toffee ink, and yep, there we go. I love that bin for my my ink pads, my oval, my inkers that are in there. You'll see them oval topped on them. And I decided to come in and ink up the sides of that title in the toffee. And it works out really well because on the toffee where I put the white lettering, I accidentally put it on the light side and not the dark side of the toffee. And here I'm just trying to be careful with my fingers because I've got ink everywhere. So I'm inking up the sides here, and you'll see it better in the still shots. I think it works out really well having inked that up and having the lighter color of the toffee paper, and one of those little happy mistakes. So I think I'm happy there. And then I'm going to start bringing all the pieces in and getting them tacked down. Here I use my little tool from Tim Holtz to take off the top of my pads so I don't have to get my fingers dirty anymore. I have a habit of putting my inky fingers into my projects. So I think I'm going to get this all glued down now. So those 2 pieces at the top that I'm messing around with right now are actually the negative pieces from some of the die cuts in this collection. And they have map pieces or artwork all over them, so they're perfect for the top. Then I've got that geo tag, and then these 2 tags I'm putting in up at the top. I'm going to use my labels that I use that go through my printer, the clear matte labels, and I'm going to make the date and who's in the photos in case, again, these get separated. Here I'm bringing in the labels that I use, and I'm showing you on the screen what I order, and I always bring the sheets in and I'll cut them in half. And if I know I'm doing a large project, I will come in and print several of them off the titles, which will be, the location and the date, so I don't have to keep printing them. The one that's right now on the table is something that I made for this particular sheet. And when you cut them in half, then you can see that most of your titles are not going to be much wider than that. So that way I get more bang for my buck. And you'll see here how little I use. This is so cost effective, and this company is so inexpensive. So I believe I always put a link down below. I'll double check, but highly, highly recommend this company. And they have any kind of labels, sticker type stuff that you would ever need. And their customer service group is just outstanding. So here I'm cutting down the title, and I'm going to put it on those little hang tags that you saw me working with earlier. And you'll see how with this matte clear sticker paper, everything just disappears. It doesn't even look like there's anything there. It looks like you've run this whole thing through your printer. So couldn't recommend these enough, because I just want, again, if this is going down and, you know, for a legacy type thing, I want people to be able to read this in years to come. There are times when I do handwriting, because my children have asked me to do that so they can have my handwriting. But for the most part, I would say 80% of the time I will do typing on my computer and then run these labels through my machine, my copy machine, or my printer. Here I've just taken some twine I have in my stash, and I'm going to attach these two hang tags and just make a knot. I don't think this is an appropriate sheet, in my opinion, to make a bow, since we're sitting in the jail cell. So here I'm just getting ready to get these glued down or taped down. I've got the double stick tape going there. And there we go. So it just says who's in the photo and the date, and then obviously we have the title, so the location we have there. Just trimming those up. And then at the bottom of the page here, you'll see I had a little bit of fun. You know, you just got to laugh about it. So these die cuts that are from this collection are very thick. These are a pretty hefty thickness on these. So I went ahead and I cut some handcuffs from my Cricut, and I have the design space on my, I believe it's called design space on my Cricut, so I have quite a few things I can choose from. I just thought this would be kind of funny. So I went in and I've actually inked up these handcuffs a little with some toffee just to give them some dimension. And then the titles in this collection over to the left say escape route. And then I'm using, I wish I knew the official name for it. This tool that's sitting on the table to the right is a hole punch, and you have different circumferences of holes you can make. And this thing is heavy duty. Boy, if you needed some protection, just grab this thing. It's really heavy. But I use this to go through this thick chipboard and to make a hole in this, the little hang tag of a key. And then I decided to come through with the toffee and ink up these titles. And I just think it's kind of funny. It says escape route. And that little bit of ink really did make a difference. You'll see that in the still shots. Really kind of hard to appreciate here. And then you'll see me, I came in with some 3D foam tape, because the picture and the cardstock made the title on the left-hand side, or, you know, the chipboard pieces. I thought it needed some kind of 3D foam dots on the back side, but only on the right side of each word. And I end up coming back in, and when I put that foam tape in, it was just too high. So then I had to come out and level it even more on the left-hand side. So here I am just finishing up with the 3D foam dots, getting the little release tabs off the back. And I do end up overlapping them a bit, which you'll see. The P and the T, I just thought it looked better if they overlapped just a little. So there we go, and then I'm going to bring in, I can't say this word without laughing, the handcuffs, and then the escape key that's up there. Use some of that good old glue to hold that down. Kind of tucked it under the two words there. And then I do bring back in that twine and just cut some of that off. I can't tell you how long I've had that. I've had it forever. And then I double that up, and I'm going to do what I did with the one above it and just tie a real quick knot. Again, no bows. Cut some of that off, and trying to figure out where I want to put it. That looks good there, so I commit to it. and bring out the glue. And that one goes down, and I think we're just about done with that page. Yeah, I tucked it all in there. So I think that does it. So let me jump back right back in. Let me jump back into the live here, and I'll be right with you. All right, I'm back here live with you, and I think the page turned out great. Again, I'm using the 49 and Market Wherever collection, and I think it turned out great. There were a lot of ups and downs, which you saw in the video, but that's how I learn. So hopefully in me sharing my errors and learning curves, that'll help all of you. So I think the inks that worked really well and the papers that worked really well were Toffee and Sapphire. And down here, I just had a little bit of fun with, you know, because I'm here in jail with the handcuffs and the key and the escape route. And these are all, these things right here and the paper, the background paper, are all from that collection. So from the 49 Market collection. So I'll make sure that link is down below so you all have that. And then I wanted to announce our winner. Our winner for this last month is Leslie Watkins. And I believe I have your address, Leslie, and I will be getting some great prizes out to you in the next day. Hopefully you enjoy them. And the reason she got that is because she subscribed and liked and left a comment on the videos. So if you want to be the winner for next month, please, I invite you to do all of the above. Comment, subscribe, like. So hopefully next month you can be the winner. And until next time, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.